Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the Bug Warrior. In this video I will show you how to complete Escalating Nightmare dungeons and defeat Astaroth. Astaroth makes his debut at Season 9 as a boss. However, unlike other bosses, in order to reach Astaroth we need to go through a series of Nightmare dungeons, each one more challenging than the previous one. And once you complete 3 of them, you can fight Astaroth. Alright, so step 1 is getting Escalating Nightmare dungeon sigils, of course. These new sigils can only be obtained by completing Horadic strong rooms. I already made a video on how to complete those, so be sure to check it out. I will leave the link to it in the description. Once you get a few of these new sigils, you will notice that they have several affixes, similar to the ones we find at normal Nightmare dungeon sigils. But we also get new ones that basically they either make enemies more deadly or it makes you weaker. So read the sigils description before opening it, select what you think is best, and go for it. I won't lie, I am having an amazing time so far at Season 9, and escalating dungeons are one of the main reasons, and I will explain why. Escalating Nightmare dungeons are very similar to Infernal Hordes, so if you love Infernal Hordes, you will enjoy Escalating Nightmare dungeons. The way it works is that when you open an Escalating Nightmare dungeon, it will have some more challenging affixes than regular Nightmare dungeons have. This is why each new dungeon will become more challenging. I think this was a fantastic idea from Blizzard, as not only you can get a lot of loot, gems, materials, and most of all experience from a single dungeon key, but they are actually fun and quite a challenge. Depending on your luck, once you reach tier 3, things can get sometimes pretty crazy. On top of that, chances of spawning Horadic strong rooms are very high, especially at tier 2 and tier 3. So that means no more farming for those, and this will be a great way for you to get all your arcane spells and even recipes to craft jewels. Last but not least, here are some things I think is good to know when doing Escalating Nightmare dungeons. Treat these dungeons the same as if you were running the pit. This means using incenses and elixirs. Depending on the torment level at which you are, you should have already tempered gear and be using good gems. If you die, you can always go back to town and repair, so you don't have to stress about that. Also, never stop moving. There are some affixes where monsters are constantly spawning, so even checking your inventory or assigning some paragon points means you can die. Resistances are important, but most of all pay attention to poison resistance. I find that at tier 3 sometimes elites can be quite deadly because of this, and also you will need it for Astaroth. Once you manage to clear 3 dungeons, the last portal will open and it will take you to Astaroth's lair. Once you reach Astaroth, you will notice he's on top of the Amalgam of Rage, but as we know, this is stage 1 of the fight. Amalgam of Rage will spit fire at you from each one of his heads. At the same time, Astaroth can summon meteors. There is an indication of a split second of where they are going to land, and if this wasn't enough, Amalgam of Rage can jump at you. The only way to avoid this attack is to teleport once you see he's about to jump, and this is what was killing me before I got strong. So my advice is to instead get some sort of fortify or barrier and try to keep it up as much as possible. Once you deal enough damage to the Amalgam of Rage, it will begin regenerating inside a pool of blood and poison. This pool I think is very similar to the ones that Lord Seer can spawn, so basically don't touch it. At this moment, Astaroth will fight you and you have one objective: to kill Astaroth before the Amalgam of Rage can regenerate, or you will have to face them both at the same time. Astaroth will throw at you his meteors, also some fire waves that go in circles at the edge of the arena. You are probably wondering why in circles and at this specific location, because as the Amalgam of Rage regenerates, the blood pool will increase in size. When it reaches its maximum size, there is nowhere else to run. That combined with Astaroth's attack is terrible. Remember that the pool deals a lot of poison damage, so one moment inside of it and it's over. If the Amalgam of Rage revives, try to focus fire at Astaroth. The reason is that Astaroth has more health points than the Amalgam of Rage, so you want to deplete his health bar as much as possible. This way, next time that the Amalgam of Rage dies, you can kill it for sure. I was doing it the other way. This ends up in a very long fight. All in all, defeating Astaroth is not that hard when compared to other bosses such as Endariel or Harbinger of Hatred, but timing is essential. So there you have it. Astaroth is a great source for both materials and gear, as you can see. I hope this information can help you clear the new endgame activity we have at Season 9. Personally, I like it very much and I'm running it over and over again. So, what are your thoughts? Please share with us at the comments. We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, please consider to share, like, comment or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.